So I'm here with Alex from Extreme Custom Trucks, and today we're going to talk about the 2014 FJ Cruiser that they built. Now, Alex handles all the custom builds for Lost Pines Toyota, which is in Bastrop, Texas. And what they do essentially is take a truck or SUV or off-road vehicle like this FJ Cruiser, and they absolutely turn it into a monster of a machine. Alex has been with Lost Pines Toyota for about a year now and has completely changed the way that they handle custom builds, and has actually built an entire department that is part of the Lost Pines Toyota store, but handles extreme custom builds for all vehicles, not just the Toyota builds. So without further ado, Alex from Extreme Custom Trucks. Where do you start on a build like that?
Well, the first thing is the suspension. Then after that's the wheels, tires, and then after that, whatever other accessory you want to put on, bumpers, lights.
And so when you're looking at the suspension, what is it that you're trying to accomplish, and what is it that is the
stability, comfort, performance, everything, safety, everything. I look at quality. When it comes to the ones that I've used the most is ProComp. The reason why I use them the most is because it's a lifetime warranty. You can't beat that. So, plus, if somebody were to buy the car off the person that put the lift kit, it transfers to the next customer. It doesn't just go away.
Is the FJ pretty easy to put a lift kit on? Is it?
No, it's it's very hard to put it on, but it's actually one of the hardest ones to put a lift kit on, to be honest with you. Yeah, because it's real tight on the back end. If you would have saw, like, when we did the back end of that FJ to raise it, what I did was I replaced the coils on the rear. It has a coil and it has a shock. And there's a coil on the back that we put a new coil, and then we put a 2-inch block or 3-inch block on top of that. So when we compressed it with the jacks, it took 4 of us to lift that, plus with the jacks, to get it to tighten up.
Really? And so what is a typical build in terms of hours? Like, what do you spend on them?
30 hours.
From start to finish?
Start to finish.
So in terms of the lift or the components that you used, what components did you use for the suspension?
This is important because the lift kit that we used was a 3-inch lift. Basically, it's a 3-inch lift kit, but we turned it into a 5 3/4, almost a 6-inch lift kit. And what we did was we took 3-inch on the front, 3-inch on the rear, 2.5 inches on the coil, 2 inches on the strut, so raise it up, like I said, 6 inches.
In terms of brands, what did you?
Fox and ProComp. ProComp because of the lifetime warranty, and Fox because of the performance. I mean, you can't beat Fox.
And so what parts did you use Fox for?
We used the rear shocks with the reservoir, separate reservoir, which are filled with nitrogen, and the front struts with a new coil filled with nitrogen as well. Before, they used to be grease. Now it's filled with nitrogen. You can just fill it up and be done with it.
And why is that better?
Maintenance. Usually, over time, after abuse, you'll start having leakage with the grease. Start seeping out. Then you have to replace it. Well, by having nitrogen, it stays clean. It doesn't leak, and you don't have to replace them. ProCon was just the blocks. Nothing special. I mean, the only thing that really changed on the rear was the springs. That's it, which it gave it a stiffer ride on the rear. The other thing with the Fox is that if you do need to get to the point to where it gets a little, rugged over time, they can be rebuilt. They don't have to be replaced. So that's the other thing. All the O-rings that are inside that thing that compress that air and hold that air in there, that's the only thing. You just take it apart and replace all the O-rings.
So instead of buying a whole new part, you can just rebuild the part you have.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Instead of paying $1,700 for front coils and shocks, you can pay $200 to get it repaired. So that's it.
And so how does the lift kit and the suspension improve the capability of the one that you built, the FJ Cruiser that you built, as opposed to like a factory one?
Well, with the See, one thing about the FJ is it has a crawl mode.
Has a what?
It has a crawl mode.
Crawl mode?
Yes.
What is that?
Basically, have you seen these trucks, like trophy trucks, go on rock climbing expeditions and all that? Well, it helps it, and it has that feature to where it loosens the suspension. So when you have that and you have the Fox suspension on there, it makes it a lot easier for the driver to maneuver in the areas that it needs to go into. The stiffness of the ride, it's smoother. You can adjust it. You can adjust it from 50 psi to 20 psi if you wanted to. There's many different avenues you can go with those shocks, but it improves everything you want to do when you go off road.
So what tires did you put on it?
Pro Comp MTs, mud terrains. They're the Pro Comp Extreme mud terrains that come with a 40,000 mile warranty on it.
And why'd you choose
They're
those?
extremely aggressive.
Aggressive in what way? What do you mean?
Well, the tread pattern's aggressive. They're knobby on the sidewall, knobby on top. Great for being stuck in positions of mud. Very aggressive. Plus, there's not another mud terrain tire out there with a 40,000 mile warranty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Alex, that'll just about do it for today. Appreciate you stopping by. And if you have some questions for Alex, you can contact him directly at Lost Pines Toyota there in Bastrop, Texas. Alex is doing some really cool stuff, so if you want to follow along on Instagram, you can follow along on Instagram or Twitter at Extreme Custom Trucks, and we'll put the links down in the bottom. So until next time, tune in or subscribe to our YouTube channel and see what Alex does next.